Okay, so I'll start this video as a follow-up on the open loop from last one. Basically, someone said they booked or someone essentially booked a meeting with me off my website, and had no idea like who they were, how they found me. And it turns out it was my own cold email. I went through like my inbox, and I found that I did send a cold email to him. I just couldn't find the domain in there. I just didn't look properly. Um, it was kind of funny though. He said he hopped on the call. He said the email looked AI generated, and he almost ignored it. But then he checked out the domain to see if it was real. He liked what he saw on my business website, which I kind of structured to be like a landing page, like just kind of like what I do in my value propositions. And he booked himself in, and so I thought that was that was pretty neat. Um, because there's another guy this week who booked himself straight onto my calendar, and asked how he found me because like I genuinely couldn't find him in email inboxes. And he said he found me through chatgpt. I got cited by AI, which I thought was pretty neat. And he's exactly the type of business I want to work with. And AI just probably scraped my site and said that I was a good fit. Um, and obviously ChatGPT gave him like two other agencies, and so now I'm kind of competing with them. But yeah, it seems like a good fit. For the past week or two, though, as a separate topic, I've been apartment hunting, and so that's been taking up a lot of my days. Obviously, I still take meetings during the day, but a lot of the asynchronous client work was and has been pushed to the evenings, and so I felt like I wasn't really running the business because I didn't have a lot of time for sales. I was just doing client work and apartment hunting. I was just kind of keeping it alive. And so now I've found a place, and my days moving forward is basically just sales during the day and then client work after, which I've tried to do this a few times, but it always ends up happening that like client work feels important during the day. But now I think I've learned the lesson, and I'm okay with doing like client work afterwards and sales when I'm fresh and when my prospects are there and answering the phone, because that is the constraint of the business. And so I want to work on that primarily, and obviously continuing and like giving good results for my clients. But that's stuff that can be done on weekends or after hours, whereas sales is only during business hours. Um, and so I was doing my monthly reflection, and something stood out about that is I'm working harder than I ever did at a job. And so like that's like genuinely like more hours. And it's not that I'm surprised, because I knew that going in, um, that it would be like that. The thing is, I kept saying this sentence. I was looking at the older videos, and I said like once X is done, I'll be less busy. Or once Y is done, I'll be less busy. And like I said it in May, I said it in June. I think I mentioned it last video. So it's been like quite a few months of saying like, oh, once this is done, like I'll be less busy. It hasn't happened yet, which I guess is not worrying, but it stands out to me. For me right now, it's sales, because prepping for calls and like building proposals and like following up with people who don't respond, which I guess is the funny one. But yeah, prepping for calls and building proposals, that takes a lot of time, just because I want to make sure it's done right, because it's like very high leverage if they become a client. The client work itself is quite light, I say. Like I have like lots of good systems that make sure the monitoring of the campaigns is automated, and then it just raises to me what decisions to make. And so I still genuinely believe that once I'm at a steady run rate, that I'll spend less time on sales and the day actually gets shorter. But who knows whether I'll actually take the lighter version, or I'll just like fill it back up with more selling. Maybe it'll feel less stressful because I'm like doing it out of my own volition. Not that I'm not doing that right now, but um, I kind of have to get more clients to make sure my run rate for my new apartment is comfortable. And so yeah, it's definitely not the worst problem to have. I'd always choose this path and I'd choose it again. But I also didn't quit a job so that I could work 10 or like up to 12 hours a day some days. And like granted, like I know some people say they work like 16 hours. I'm talking about like 12 hours of like actual work. Like I still do a workout, I still like take breaks to eat. And things like that, like 12 hours of like actual work, which is quite tiring if after doing it for a few weeks. Um, but yeah, right now I'm okay with it because I know what needs to be done and all my effort is paying off. So that's what's keeping me motivated, and the feedback loop is quite quick, which I like. So that is it for this week.